Hello dear students, very good morning to you all. In today's class I teach you very important topic from the pointers, that is dynamic memory allocation. Definitely you find question on what is dynamic memory allocation in main examination. In order to learn the topic dynamic memory allocation, first of all we need to know some simple things related to memory management in C. That is what first I teach you. One simple question to you: whether can we write the computer program without defining variables or without allocating the computer's memory? Whether can we write computer programs without using variables or without using computer's memory? Possible or not possible? Not possible. In order to find the addition of two numbers, minimum we need two variables, int n1 comma n2. You may use or you may not answer variable, you can display the result directly also. That is what we call static memory allocation, allocating the memory well in advance before solving a problem. That means before reading the two numbers, before making the sum, before showing the result, we need to allocate the memory. That's why the main function contains two parts. One is declaration part, one more is executable part. Already we know the use of declaration part. Declaration part we use to define the variables. That is what we allocate the memory well in advance, before input, before process and before output we allocate the memory. That is what we call compile time memory allocation, or that is what we call static memory allocation. This technique is having its own advantages as well as disadvantages. Static memory allocation is having some drawbacks while working with arrays. That is what I explained to you first. See here, I have written the difference between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. We allocate the memory, that means we define the variables or arrays well in advance, before the input or before the process or before showing the result in the declaration part. That is what we call static memory allocation. See the example. What is the drawback with arrays? What are the drawbacks of arrays? All the values are of similar time. That is one drawback. That itself is the advantage. One more drawback with arrays, that fixed size. You cannot define the array without size. You have to mention the size compulsory. That's why we go for maximum size usually. Usually we go for int a of 100 or sometimes int a of 200. Assume that I defined one array named a with the size 100. Afterwards we read the input like this: enter the number of elements. If the user enters the value of n as 25, we utilize only 25 memories out of 100. What about the remaining 75 memories? 75 memories are wasted. This is the drawback of an array. Assume that if I enter the value of n as 200, we have not allocated 200 memories, shortage of 100 memories. This is what the problem with arrays. While working with the arrays, we may face these problems. We may waste the memories, or there might be a shortage of memories. Two possibilities are there. Then how to solve this problem? How to solve this problem? That is possible by using pointers. By using pointers. That is what we call dynamic memory allocation. We allocate the memory during program run only. We ask the user, enter the number of elements n. If I enter 17, we allocate 17 memories only, neither more nor less. Exactly n memories we allocate by using malloc function. In order to make the use of malloc function, we need to have the knowledge of pointers. See here, int asterisk ip. This is a pointer variable. Afterwards I am asking the user, enter the number of elements. If I enter 5, only 5 memories will be allocated. 5 into size of int. Size of integer means 2 bytes. 5 2s are 10. 10 bytes are allocated. Means 2 bytes for each number. Neither more nor less. First address will be stored in IP. I explain about malloc in detail, don't worry. I hope you understood. Static memory allocation means allocating the memory well in advance. Dynamic memory allocation means allocating the memory during program run. It results into efficient program This is not the efficient program, because we are wasting some memories sometimes. Sometimes we face the problem with shortage of memories. How to solve this problem? That is possible by dynamic memory allocation. Now you have got the answer for the question, what is DMA? What is DMA? DMA stands for dynamic memory allocation. It allocates the memory during program run. How many memories we want, those many memories we allocate, neither more nor less. That is what we call dynamic memory allocation. Up to now, whatever I explained is theory. Some more theory points are there, that one I share with you. See here, the programmer needs to allocate the computer's primary memory. That means whenever we define the variables, we are allocating the memory from RAM only to store and process the data, to solve a problem by using a computer. For this purpose, we use two techniques. One is static memory allocation, one more is dynamic memory allocation. Static memory allocation is also called as compile time memory allocation. As the name itself tells us that allocating the memory well in advance. It is having its own drawbacks. What are the drawbacks? That one I share with you. The allocated memory is limited in size, that cannot be varied during program run. That is what the drawback of static memory allocation. And just only I explained you one more example. What is that? An array size must be defined with fixed size, which cannot be varied, which cannot be changed during program run. This is one more drawback with compile time memory allocation. One more thing is very important. What is that? We cannot create linked list, we cannot create trees, we cannot create graphs, set. All these topics are really very important in the subject named data structure. At that time also you need to have the knowledge of dynamic memory allocation. These things cannot be created by using compile time or static memory allocation. To overcome all these limitations, we need to have the knowledge of dynamic memory allocation. That's why pointers are very powerful feature of C language. You cannot imagine computer softwares or n number of things without pointers. We are working with mobile apps, indirectly we are working with pointers only. Pointers plays very important role. I made the topic very clear for you. I think so. Okay, I hope you might have understood. Very good, and keep it up. If you won't understand, please watch the video once again. Okay, I'll start now. Now you have the answer for the question, what is dynamic memory allocation? The process of allocating the required number of memories during the program run is called runtime memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation. This technique makes the use of memory allocating functions supported by C language, malloc, calloc, realloc, free. All these functions are available in alloc.h. In some of the compiler, these are available in stdlib.h also. That's why in order to make the use of these functions, you need to add the header file alloc.h or stdlib.h in your C program. Then only you are able to make the use of malloc, calloc, realloc and free. We discuss about all these four one by one. First we discuss about the malloc. Malloc means M stands for memory. Allocating the computer's memory during program run. That is the function of malloc. What is the syntax of it? We need one pointer. Next, data type is must, asterisk is must, malloc is must. How many bytes we allocate? That is very important. See the example, you come to know. Now enter the value of n, 5. What is the n? 5. 5, it is the value of n, 5. 5 into size of int. Size of integer is 2. 5 into 2, 10 bytes are allocated. How many bytes are allocated? 10 bytes are allocated. This is the first memory, this one is the second memory, this is the third memory, this is the fourth memory, this is the fifth memory. Each memory will take 2 bytes. Let us assume the address of the first memory is 8000. Can you tell me the address of next memory? Definitely 8002, 2 bytes. Next 8004, next 8006, next 8008. What is the function of this malloc? Do you know? It allocates the 5 memories it returns the address of the first memory. What is the address of the first memory? 8000. That 8000 will be stored in IP. Now what is IP? Integer pointer. Once you get the 8000, definitely you are able to get the other address. That is what I told you already, incrementing a pointer. 8000 plus 1, 8002. 8000 plus 2, 8004. See here, IP plus I have written. Means IP is having 8000. First 8000. Whatever the number you enter 10, that will be stored at address 8000. That means here 10 will be stored. Next 8000 plus 1, 8002. 20 will be stored at value at address 8002. 30 will be stored at address 8004. Next 40 will be stored here. Now what I am doing, I am reading n number of elements as well as I am trying to store inside memories. Without using arrays, I am working with pointers. I am working with pointers. This is what the importance of dynamic memory allocation. Look at this program. In this program, I have not defined any array, but I am reading n number of values as well as I am storing the values. See here, I have read the values as well as I have stored the values. How to get the values back? Same process. Value at address 8000. 8000 plus 0, 8000. Value at address 8000. Value at address 8002. Value at address 8004. Value at address 8006. What we did, we have read the values, we have stored, we are printing the values back. Once the work completes, that is programmer's responsibility is to deallocate it. How to deallocate? We use the free function. All the allocated memories are deallocated. This is what all about malloc and calloc. I hope you have understood. This is what all about malloc and free. I hope you understood. In the next class, I teach you calloc, realloc, free. Once I complete, pointers complete. I hope you understood. What is malloc now? I hope you have the answer. What is the syntax of malloc? This is what? Pointer is a valid pointer. Data type. Which type of memory you are allocating? Number of bytes. Number of bytes means what? N into sometimes size of int, sometimes n into size of float, sometimes n into size of char, sometimes n into size of struct student. While learning data structure, you use it. So you need to remember it. I hope you have understood. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.